Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Macomb High School. It's the hangar as BPC and Macomb High lace them up for a McDonough County battle on the hardwood here tonight on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling, bringing Macomb Bomber Sports to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. I'm Dwayne Hulett. Kelly Sears is alongside. Tegan Perry is up on the camera as we are just a couple minutes away from the national anthem. And starting lineups here tonight, and Kelly is on the headset now. And Kelly, you don't even have your stat sheet ready.
No, everybody's been coming by and poking me. And
it's hard for you to get anything done around here, isn't it?
It really is.
You'll have that occasionally. But it's the Bombers and the Spartans tonight as the teams from just about 15 miles apart set to do battle here tonight, and the rivalry that is obviously very much one-sided through the years, but it is a huge rivalry nonetheless. Kelly and I talked about it a little bit in the JV contest. This is a game that has very little good that comes from it if Macomb wins, but a whole lot of bad if they lose, and a whole lot of good for BPC if they can win this game. So the national anthem getting ready to come here, so we'll let you hear that, and we'll be back for the starting lineups with Jake Croxton in just a second.
And now let's introduce tonight's starting lineups. Introducing first, visiting Bushnell-Prairie City Spartans. At guard, the 5'10" senior, number 3, Ezra Mason. At guard, the 5'10" senior, number 5, Jalen Conley. At forward, a 6' senior, number 10, Carter Oliver. At forward, a 6' senior, number 11, Dalton Strode. And in the middle, a 6'1" senior, number 40, Braden Barker. Tyler Snyder heads up the Spartan bench, assisted by Steve Martin. And now the starting lineup for your Macomb Bombers. At guard, a 5'11" senior, number 1, Connor Watson. At guard, a 6'2" junior, number 3, J.T. Jeter. At guard, a 6' senior, wearing number 13, Langdon Allen. At forward, a 6'2" senior, number 20, Nolan Kerr. And in the middle, a 6'2" senior, number 24, Jack Duncan. Jerry Anderson heads up the Bomber bench, assisted by Brian Langworthy and Zach Key. Tonight's officials are Jason Pinker, Ken Johnson, and Rob Hinkle.
Well, that's the starting lineups for these two teams. And Kelly Sears, Dion Doyle has been the talk of the area. Everybody's wondering what was going to happen when he's got back. They've won 5 in a row since he's back, but he's still not in the starting lineup. And he definitely gives a different feel to this team, and I don't know if you've got to see him play with him yet this year, but this starting five has been pretty darn good for the Bombers.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Duncan.
And you know, I guess my thing is it fair to the guys that's been here all the whole time?
I agree 100%. Sometimes you got to go to, it's not about a 1-3-1 zone coming out for BPC here. It's Kerr and Jeter with it up top. Left side, Connor Watson. Watson lit up BPC to the tune of 28 points in their first meeting at the Spartan Tip-Off Classic. See if he does similar to that today. Jeter with it, dumps it down to Duncan on a reverse layup, can't finish. Langdon Allen's there. Duncan's back there again. Langdon Allen gets the rebound and brings it back out for Macomb. Jeter to Kerr. Back to Langdon Allen. Over to Watson. And may change a little bit, Kelly, but that's not a good precedence to set on the offensive or defensive glass for BPC.
No.
Langdon Allen for three. Langdon Allen starts things off with a triple for the Bombers. As we are 1 minute in here, the Bombers had that for a full minute, although they didn't win the tip. Jalen Conley tries to answer with a three, can't do it. Duncan with a rebound in front of Braden Barker. Kerr wants the three, doesn't take it. Man, he got held by Strode, but no foul call. Jeter, oh, what a backdoor cut. And if you're coaching football right there, you want your receiver to catch it before he runs with it, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Nolan Kerr had a great move to the basket and a great job to find him, but couldn't hold on to it. Ezra Mason gives it off to Conley. BPC, I saw them against A-Town last Saturday, or Saturday before last, I should say, and a completely different lineup that's on the floor tonight to start for BPC. So they've been struggling of late to win basketball games. Conley now over to Strode. Strode for three, left wing, off no good. Ball's going to be on the floor, picked up by Jeter, outletted to Duncan. Duncan now gets it over to, they're going to call a foul, I believe, on Conley. There's a foul on Jalen Conley for BPC. His first, team's first. And it was on the floor, so it'll be Nolan Kerr inbound for the Bombers. Watson for three. Off no good, I think. Yeah, it was. Tipped out. Jeter out to Duncan now. Duncan now goes in. He's blocked by Barker. And Ezra Mason brings it up. Duncan, I think, had a chance to put that up and got a little fancy trying to get closer to the rim. And he brought it down and allowed Barker to block it. Conley's going to go to the rack, and the layup's good. Jalen Conley gets the bucket for BPC. 5:30 remaining here in the first quarter. Still the 1-3-1. Ezra Mason on the top of the 1-3-1. This is an alley-oop to Jeter. It's good.
Got it.
Rolled it around and it fell through. Connor Watson throws the alley-oop. And I was just getting ready to say, if a 1-3-1 is most effective with a really tall, fast guy on the point and a medium to tall, fast guy running the baseline, right?
Yes.
If you don't have those two things, a 1-3-1 is really not as effective. Ezra Mason drives in and gets the bucket, and BPC doesn't have that. They got Dalton Strode, who's probably about 5'10 or 11, running the baseline, and Ezra Mason, who's about 5'9 probably, running the point. So there is that opportunity for that alley-oop backdoor cut to work for the Bombers. Duncan to the rack, and he gets the bucket to fall. Jalen Conley setting up the play for BPC. Conley off, no good. Duncan picks it up, gives it off to Watson, back the other way it goes. Langdon Allen going to try another three. It's off, no good. Duncan with a rebound and a putback.
Same thing with the JV game. You got to box out.
Got to box out, get a body on somebody. I mean, it's not even that they're not. There's Strode for three. Conley's going to get the long one bounce rebound. Dumps it out Mason. Mason drives baseline. He's got to look at a runner. It's off, no good. Barker with the rebound and the putback. Neither team defensively rebounding very good here early in this one. Connor Watson. Did you see the play where in the NBA the other day where they rolled the ball in and it sat there, and since nobody touched it, the 10-second count didn't start and the shot clock didn't start until they touched it? That's they gave him a 3. It should have been a 2, but it was off no good anyway. And he ran 30 seconds off the clock, just letting the ball lay there. Nobody touched it. I didn't even know that was a rule, but apparently it is. Ja Morant. There's Mason, another bucket. Ja Morant, or however you say his name, was the one that did it. Watson goes over to Kerr. Langdon Allen now skips it across to Watson. Watson for 3. It's good. Connor Watson gets his first bucket of the night. He had 6 or 7 threes against BPC in the first meeting. Watson tips that one away out of bounds.
You know, the thing that we've seen with Connor throughout the year is if he hits that first one, he's going to hit about 4 or 5 more.
Yeah.
You know.
Ian Case and Dion Doyle check in for Macomb. Caden Palm. And Caden Palm, there's Mason with a shot, and Dalton Yoakum checking in for the first time for BPC. Langdon Allen comes away with after a battle with skip it across to Watson, who gets it out to Jeter. Down in the corner it goes to Ian Case for a long 3. It's off no good, tipped around, and Carter Alleman comes down with it for BPC. Palm to Strode. Caden Palm picked up by Jeter to Alleman, Palm, Mason. This is what Macomb does so well. They play half-court defense so well, don't they, Kelly?
Very good. Very good man defense.
Palm for 3, off no good. Watson with the rebound. He's going to outlet it to Jeter. Jeter is going to get the layup to fall. Timeout on the floor. Charge to BPC. It is a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here and tell you this game being brought to you tonight by Ron Elby Auto Sales with locations in Macomb and Augusta. With 80 years of car sales experience, Ron Elby Auto Sales is your hometown go-to for your next car. In Macomb on East Jackson Street, stop in and talk to Justin, Jared, or Chris, or visit www.lbsellscars.com to check out their inventory. And Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling. Since 1960, Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling has been providing the greater Macomb area with expert sales, service, installation of quality home comfort systems. Call your local Carrier dealer today at 309-833-2852. Find out how Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling delivers 365 days of indoor comfort. 1:30 remaining here in the first quarter. Into the game for the first time, Sean Link for BPC. Palm threw it away. Dion Doyle went to get it, and I think he was trying to hit it, but he missed it, and it still went out of bounds.
Yeah. Coach Snyder wasn't too happy with that pass.
No, I'm sure that he was not, and understandably so. Now, Tanner Kleindenst is in the game playing the top of this 1-3-1. Great ball movement. Langdon Allen misses. Doyle with the rebound. His shot's off no good. Gets his rebound. It's going to go out of bounds off of Link, I believe. I was getting ready to say Tanner Kleindenst, number 20 at the top of this 1-3-1, is more the kind of shape and size of player you want. Long arms and
very
quick,
long.
right?
Yes, very long.
Sean Link is playing the base of it now. Watson out to Steven Stuffelbeam, who's in the game for the Bombers. Watson's going to try the triple, and it's in and out, no good. Case with the rebound. The putback counted and a foul. I believe it's going to be Dalton Huffman. We'll wait and see for sure. It is Dalton Huffman on the foul.
Ian Case could just manhandle the boards.
Yes, he should be able to and can when he really feels it. I'll tell you what I was amazed by the first time out when these two played together this year was the way Dion Doyle and Ian Case work together in the post. They play very well together. Case misses the old-fashioned three-point play, but tracks down his own rebound.
That's just good hustle right there.
Langdon Allen, right corner 3, off no good. tipped out by Doyle. It'll be Spartan basketball with 38.7 seconds remaining. It's 16-8 here in the first quarter. Jalen Conley back in the game for BPC. Conley on the dribble, picked up by Connor Watson. Caden Palm gives it back to Conley. 18 seconds remaining. Barker gives him the block, and they're going to call Barker for a block. And didn't look like much of a block, but you got to keep that leg in, right?
Yeah, when you start leaning that leg out one way or the other, that's when they're going to call the foul.
Wasn't a ton of contact, but it's more about, it's kind of like the big swipe when you get called for the foul for on a block attempt, right?
Yes.
It's almost about looks. 3, no good. Rebound by Langdon Allen and a putback.
Nice job by Langdon Allen.
Conley's going to lost it and threw it up.
That about went in.
It would have been no good, but it about went in. At the end of the first quarter of play, the Bombers lead the Spartans 18-8. We'll go ahead and keep it here and tell you this game being brought to you by the Old Dairy, located at 210 South Lafayette Street in Macomb, serving soup, salads, homemade desserts, Blue Bunny ice cream, and full-service coffee bar. Breakfast served all day, and they have free Wi-Fi. Visit them online at www.olddairymacomb.com. Call 309-837-6700 for your takeout. And Sports Corner at 124, Macomb's original local sports bar. Sports Corner at 124, with a focus on local sports. Catch WIU games and all the area TSSR Game Time live broadcasts on Sports Corner at 124. All will enjoy your favorite cold drink and some of the best food in West Central Illinois. Stop in and say hi at 124 North Randolph Street in Macomb. And Tom Conklin State Farm, face-to-face, over the phone, by email, or by text. You choose how you do business with Tom Conklin State Farm Macomb. You can reach them at 309-837-1200 or visit them online at www.macombsf.com. Better yet, stop in and get your quote today at 1221 West Jackson Street in Macomb. Well, 18-8 as we get ready to go here. Second quarter. Conley with it for BPC as they started with the basketball. So that means they did actually give the jump to Macomb.
Yeah.
I thought Conley actually had it earlier in that initially, and then Duncan stole it from him, but they did not see it that way. Mason, as it's the starters back on the floor for BPC, it's also the starters. Well, the Duncan Conley's going to drive. His shot's off, no good. Barker rebound and a put back, and he's going to be fouled. Going to call it on Duncan, I believe, and he turned around with a smile on his face. His first. Team's first as well.
Team's first.
7:30 to go in the second quarter. First foul on the Bombers. Barker's free throw.
Got it.
Bounces front and back, front and back, front and back, and finally falls. Barker's second off, no good. And Conley's going to be the beneficiary of three Bombers fighting over it. And he gets the easy put in.
That's like being the garbage man is right there, man.
Yeah.
Just
being there,
everything
right?
you can.
If you're staying down there to rebound, nice cut, but I can't finish for Jeter. Conley's going to drive again, stops, puts the shot up, and gets it to fall over the rim, and it's good for Jalen Conley.
That was good defense by Kerr. Excellent defense.
Yeah, probably not the shot you really want Conley to take, but it fell anyway.
Yep.
Ian Case, Kerr, Jeter. Duncan drives and gets the bucket.
Duncan runs that baseline as well as anybody. Does a nice job.
Strode can't catch the pass. It goes off his hands, out of bounds. Dalton Huffman checks in. Dalton Strode sits down. Jeter inbounds to Kerr. 6:35 to go in the first half. 20-13. Duncan taking that baseline again, can't finish. That time Ian Case is there to clean up. .6:10 remaining in the first half. Conley has it knocked away. Mason with it now. 6 minutes remaining. Nolan Kerr out on him. Conley. Picked up by Jeter. Mason forces up the shot. Ian Case with the rebound, and back the other way it goes. Case hesitates, goes to the line, dumps it out to Jeter. Baseline jumper, good. Ian Case maybe a smidge out of control there, but it worked out fine.
He knew where he was going with it.
He did. Conley to Huffman. Fadeaway off, no good. Duncan with the rebound. Watson with it now. He's going to drive, throws it up. Man, he got hammered, gets his own rebound. Free throw line jumper for Jeter's good. Timeout charged on the floor to BPC. It'll be a full timeout.
You know,
their second timeout.
We've talked about this before. When JT Jeter shoots the basketball, good things happen. And he's one that's just got to get a little more confidence, I think, within himself in shooting the basketball.
I would agree with that wholeheartedly. 5:03 to go here in the first half. Game being brought to you by M&B Furniture, Bushnell's only furniture stores. M&B Furniture is a mainstay in the community and offers free delivery within 40 miles. For everything you need to furnish your new home or replenish an old one, stop and see the fine folks at 481 West Main Street, or find them on Facebook, Instagram, or on the web at www.m&bfurnitureinc.com. You can also call 309-772-2111. And the Community News Brief for all your local news. Subscribe to the Community News Brief weekly edition, mailed directly to your home every Friday. As an option, you can also receive Monday and Wednesday editions downloaded from their website. Single copies can be purchased for select locations in Bushnell, Colchester, Blandesville, and, of course, Macomb. Also help to bring you this contest, Rosie's Pizza, offering something for everyone with pasta, sandwiches, and, of course, pizza. Dine in or carry out at 458 East Main Street in Bushnell. They also deliver to Good Hope, Adair, and all points in between. For delivery, call 309-772-2101. Chat is open. We haven't had anybody chat all night long, Kelly. I'm feeling a little lonely here. Actually, that's not true. We did have one chat telling us that number 15 was Blaine Eddington.
Wonder where Tyler is.
I don't know. I haven't seen him here or on online. Hope we get in there. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. Should have plenty of people cheering and watching in the live chat tonight. People from Bushnell and Macomb. Duncan with it. Up to Watson. To Kerr. Back to Watson. 3 on the way. Off, no good. Conley with the rebound. Over to Mason. He'll loft up the triple. It's off, no good. Rebound to Watson. To Jeter. Goes to Kerr. Kerr reverse layup is
nice
good.
Move. Nice move by Nolan Kerr.
Conley and Watson going out down low. Huffman with it on a nice look from Conley. Jalen Conley gets the assist. 3:50 remaining. BPC trying to find their way back in here. 28-15. Kerr down to Duncan. Duncan spins around Huffman and gets the bucket to fall. Duncan has looked to score more recently than he had maybe earlier in the season. He led the team in scoring the other night and has been putting up some more offensive numbers, maybe as he's getting more in the flow of basketball as the year goes along and out of the quarterback mode a little bit. Alleman for 3, top of the key. It's short. Duncan with the rebound for the Bombers. Gets it out to Watson. It goes back the other way.
He runs the baseline, like I said, as well as anybody. He does a nice job, Jack does.
Kerr with it, down to Langdon Allen. Goes across to Duncan. Duncan going to call him for a travel.
Traveling. Into the Bombers 30, Deion Doyle, and 0.
Ian Case and Deion Doyle checking in. Dalton Strode, Caden Palm, Nate Kramer checking in. That's an unusual substitution for BPC. Conley to Strode to Mason. Over to Palm. He'll put up the 3. It's off, no good. Watson tips it away. Caden Palm comes down with it finally. He's going to lay it up and in. Watson now. He's fouled.
I thought they was about going to get away with one there.
Nate Kramer picks up the foul. His first team's 4th. John Reynolds is hopping into live chat, says go Cyclones. That's tomorrow night or some other night there, John. John does some good job for us covering some sporting events. He'll be doing a few in the next couple of weeks while I'm out of town. Tyler Cummings says hi, so Tyler is here. He just has been quiet. An unusually quiet Tyler Cummings tonight.
Ooh, no rim at all on that one.
He missed them both, didn't he? Connor Watson hit a triple early tonight, but he hasn't shot well since then. Reed Kelso is watching, saying go Bombers. Reed, shouldn't you be watching an A-Town game right now? Ezra Mason to the rack. Can't get it to fall.
Nice move, though. Nice move.
Langdon Allen with the rebound. He pushes it the other way. Goes to Deion Doyle. Doyle now looks down to Ian Case. Case out to Langdon Allen. He'll put the shot. Man, he got hammered by Strode, and he goes to the floor, but he'll be shooting 2. Foul's going to be on Dalton Strode for BPC. It'll be their 5th.
Spartan personal foul charge to Dalton Strode, number 11, his first. Team 5th. Line for 2, Langdon Allen.
You know, when Ian Case gets the ball in the paint like that, he has to go right back up with it, you know.
Yeah, almost looking to pass too much, isn't he?
Yes. It's nice to be the disher, but when you're that close, put it in.
And Ian Case just got hit in the face by Caden Palm. That's going to stay with Macomb. Went off Palm. Tanner Kleindentz checking in for BPC. Doyle to Hunter Wilson, who's in the game. Now to Connor Wilson. Down to Doyle. Doyle, turn around. Off, no good. Langdon Allen way up there. He got as high as Case did.
Yeah.
Ian Case still holding his eye from when he got hit a few moments ago. Sorry about that, Kelly. Go ahead.
He's got some hops. Talking about Langdon Allen.
Yeah, he can jump. There's no doubt. Langdon Allen is a good athlete. There's no doubt about that.
Very good athlete.
He goes right side to Watson. Back to Hunter Wilson with 1:24 remaining. Down to Case, excuse me.
Oh!
Well, that was in and then rolled out, but he's going to get 2 foul shots with 1:19 remaining. See who they call it on. It's going to be on Tanner Kleindentz.
Will shoot 2. Spartan personal foul, Tanner Kleindentz, number 20, his first, team 6.
A couple free throws coming for Ian Case. First one is no good. 1:19 remaining. Second one off, no good. Doyle high for the rebound. Tanner Kleindentz was holding on to Doyle the entire time right there. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That's his second in as many shot attempts here. Ian Case is going to sit down. Steven Stuffelbeam checks in. Case is going to get looked at by the trainer for MDH. Barker checks in. Kind of feel like Coach Schneider's trying to do some even or this for that kind of kind of substitutions here. Jake Hobson checking in for the first time, replacing Hunter Wilson. I was going to say that was a pretty small lineup Coach Anderson had on the floor right there with Hunter Wilson, Steven Stufflebeam, Connor Watson, and Langdon Allen out there with Dion Doyle. Second one good as well. (33-17). Dion Doyle trying to get into the passing lane, but Nate Kramer told me that he's not much of a basketball player, but he's a pretty good linebacker.
Who's that?
Nate Kramer, number 42. He told me that one day. Tyler Cummings says BT needs a haircut. Yeah, he's got a lot of hair going on there, old Langdon Allen. Conley gives it off to Mason. Under a minute to go. Mason puts the runner up off, no good. Barker with the rebound. Reverse layup is good. Wasn't the most graceful looking,
but it went in.
It did. Out to Watson. Off, no good. Steven Stufflebeam with the rebound. Another shot, no good. Hobson high for the rebound. His shot's off, no good. Ball's on the ground. It's going to be picked up. Well, who's going to get it? Kramer's going to come up with it, and that's how it's going to end. First half, Macomb had a whole bunch of attempts there down in the final 10 seconds. Couldn't get one to fall, and that's how the first half's going to end. 33-19 as I put a point on the wrong side there. I apologize. Wonder why I was a point short on the Bombers. I gave an extra one to BPC. 33-19 is the score at the half here, and I think Mr. Horrell might come up and talk to us. He said he would. We'll see if he remembers or not. I'll tell you, this game being brought to you by McDonough District Hospital. Thank you for voting McDonough District Hospital Rehabilitation Center's best of the best in McDonough County. Let their experienced and dedicated sports medicine and rehabilitation staff show you why MDH has been voted best of the best in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, and again in 2022. 3 convenient locations to serve you, 2 in Macomb and 1 in Bushnell. And the athletic director for Macomb High, Steve Horrell, finding his way up here to talk to us. Well, it's pretty loud in here, Coach. I'll stand up. I don't know if you'll be able to hear me or not, but a lot of stuff going on this week and in the next few weeks here at Macomb High in there.
Yeah, we're pretty fortunate. We're going to be hosting some postseason stuff. First of all, we'll start off with the boys' 7th grade sectional game, which will be here Monday night, the 30th. Then we move into high school wrestling regional here Saturday, February 4th. And then on the 30th of February will be the super sectional, 2A super sectional girls game.
Well, the super sectional is a pretty big deal to have. This is a great gym and a lot of seating, but that's a pretty big get for Macomb High.
It is. It's we actually were scheduled to host it last year, but we called the state and we were still in a masking situation there, and we didn't want to take it away from the game by having kids wear masks and the spectators wear masks when they haven't been doing it at their home gym. So we're looking for a nice crowd, and it'll be an exciting atmosphere. They have taken away the 3-point shootout, so there's something that we're not going to deal with that night either.
Yeah, you guys host some tournaments, so it's not like it's abnormal, but when you start getting to sectional and super sectional, it kind of takes on a different kind of feel, doesn't it? I mean, there's more media, there's more people, there's more a little bit of everything when you get into that. Are you guys, how are you changing things, or are you changing anything from a normal day for what you're doing that night?
I don't think we'll change much for normally. We have a great bench crew over there, and we'll be there. We may have some extra security. We'll have someone specifically for the officials. We'll get the press from wherever schools we're going to be playing and make sure that they have accommodations as well. will put student sections for both teams, and they'll be opposite of their benches or behind their benches. So yeah, but one thing that will happen if you're planning on coming out, the state during anything sectional and beyond that's that Go Fan thing where you buy your ticket online, but we will also have a cash box because there's going to be somebody that's going to show up and doesn't, like me, that, I don't know how, or at the last minute they're going to say, hey, let's drive to Macomb and watch this game. It would be wonderful if our team was in there, but, we're looking at teams like Quincy Notre Dame, who's ranked number 1 in the state, Bloomington Central Catholic, Sherrard. There's some great programs out there, and this is a team. This would used to be the quarterfinals at Redbird Arena. There are 8 teams left, and the teams that win in these super sectionals become the Final Four.
We've done some wrestling meets now here on TSSR Game Time Live, and I don't know that we've done them greatly, but we've got to see some kids. Macomb High's wrestling program has some really good wrestlers right now.
Yes, we do. The 3 hammers with the senior, Carter Hogue, Max Reiner, and Ethan Ladd. Those kids have placed in every tournament, and they've been leaders for that team. And they're great kids and great wrestlers, but they're great kids above that. And the younger kids are coming around. Cohen Green's just a sophomore, and he'll be there for a couple years to come. Charlie Hernandez is another senior that's really stepped up this year. Kids are filling in different weight classes, and plus we've got 9 girls out for the program this year too.
That's what I was going to say. I said looking to the girls program now. That's a big thing and really coming on big.
Exactly, that's the future. We went up this year to the Pontiac tournament where the girls had a tournament on Friday and then the boys had the tournament on Saturday. There were 374 girls registered for that tournament on Friday afternoon. That sport has exploded as far as girls, and there's college scholarships out there they're trying to give away right now. With all the programs they're picking up, now it becomes less of a Title IX because they have their own program as well. Whereas like a lot of colleges dropped wrestling because wrestling was a non-revenue sport unless you're an Iowa, Penn State, an Oklahoma State, something of that nature. So they dropped men's wrestling. Well, now they're adding women's wrestling, so it kind of balances out as well.
So as you look through everything that's going on here at Macomb and you look at the girls wrestling, or Kelly Ladd is kind of, I think, the spearhead almost for Macomb, right? I mean, she had a lot of success last year, and that program I feel like kind of launched that program into this year. A lot more girls going out. But I heard you say at one of the Macomb downtown athletic clubs, I think, that Macomb might look at having a girls tournament next year.
Yeah, we're looking to try to put something together, whether it be just a Saturday where we put them in 4 wrestler brackets, kind of we did with the kids program, or we go straight 8 wrestler brackets, and I'm going to say 8-man brackets because that's what we called them for years, but we will still call them 8-man brackets, but whatever. But yeah, we're looking to take advantage of that, and Corey Christensen up at Pontiac. He was a trailblazer here. He's been having a girls tournament at Pontiac for 6 years now, and it's just exploded. And so now we're going to look to do that in downstate Illinois here.
Well, I think the biggest thing when you have to look at it is that there's so many more girls involved because of the fact that they don't have to wrestle the guys. Where before, you might have one girl on your team and she had to wrestle the guys, and everywhere she went, she wrestled guys. And now women are wrestling women, and it's a big thing.
Exactly. We had Destiny Mowen a few years ago, and she was very competitive. She actually qualified for sectionals with the IHSA when it was just one division, not boys and girls. So yes, when they get to wrestle girls, that's really helped out and got more people interested. And even if I weigh 106 pounds as a male, 106-pound female, I don't, typically they're not going to be as physical or whatnot. But and I don't mean to sound sexist, but if they get to wrestle against girls, they're more likely to come out, and that's a great point, yeah. Coach Sears.
Well, that's Macomb has a lot of things to offer the kids here, and that's one of the bonuses of being in Macomb, right? Is you get to have wrestling, you get to have all those extracurricular sports that others, and I say extracurricular because they're above and beyond what the normal average school in our area has. you've got golf, which COVID really brought a lot of golf teams out, I think. Has that made your golf season easier to schedule for you since there's more local teams?
Well, actually,
or does that affect that at all?
No, we'll invite some local teams to both of our boys and girls invitationals. So scheduling there is it's pretty set. We go to some upper tier tournaments for both boys and girls. But then scheduling dual meets, we just make them triangulars or quads. Danny Torrance out at Gold Hills is exceptional to work with. Gary Sutton at the country club, who just retired, he was great to work with. And I need to get out and meet the new greenskeeper, groundskeeper at the country club. But yeah, it's easier. And we have swimming. Quincy High doesn't have swimming. Canton doesn't have swimming. There's that's where we struggle, is finding schools to swim against. We went all the way to Dunlap today. We go to Washington on Thursday. We swim against Olympia on Saturday. So swimming is one where not as many teams in the area have a swim team. So we're the conference with wrestling. We have Farmington, who has wrestling. We have Havana is in with Petersburg Porta. So wrestling is not considered a conference sport yet either. But, we have 19, with the addition of girls wrestling, we have 19 varsity sports here. And plus, exceptional band, an exceptional scholastic bowl, theater department, dance, cheer. Those are all things in a school where our enrollment is shrinking. We're below 600. We're in the mid-500s. And to have 19 varsity sports, we got a lot of 2- and 3-sport athletes, which as coaches we always wanted that. And
do you have anybody coming in from outside on the swim team? I know a couple of years ago some people from
West Prairie. Yeah,
we
had some West Prairie kids, and no, not this year. If they wanted to, yeah, we do that. But simply, and what we have to look out for there is if we bring them in, then that's considered a co-op, and we add theirs. And swimming is only one class.
Yeah.
If it ever came to the point where it would bump us up a class, I don't think that we would do that. Simply wouldn't do that.
It's hard to, as we're getting ready to go for the second half, it's really hard to do that for one kid, right? No matter how good that one kid is.
Right.
There's an alley-oop to start the second half to J.T. Jeter. Connor Watson threw another one. It's hard to do that, though, right? To add, even if it's only 140 kids, it's hard for that one kid.
Well, and I think we saw that in football with some schools when Camp Point and Southeastern were doing it. They got 4 or 5, a handful of kids there, and that bumped them up from 1A to 2A. Now they go back to 1A, and they're a state champ. Not because they took that away. Coach Dixon does an amazing job down there, but they're a solid 1A school, an exceptional 1A school. So yeah, if you just get a handful of kids, it's not really worth it. Monmouth Roseville has one male swimmer, and he travels with his coach, who happens to be his mother. And anytime we have a home swim meet, he's at our home swim meets.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that's. There's a pass down low to Alleman, pump fake, put up, and good. It's kind of hard, I think, to IHSA's, I suppose, to some extent in a tough spot. You have to do that to some extent, right? You have to consider that, but at the same time, you have to consider that it's one kid. I mean,
right.
there should be something there, right, to allow those kids to do that without hurting the host school.
Well,
I mean, I suppose you're the athletic director. Maybe Kelly can say something. Maybe he can give his opinion.
I get that, but I also, all right. So if you only get one kid to a school that has a non-boundary school,
yeah,
you got both sides of that there.
Well, I want to play lacrosse, so where do I get to go?
You go to the suburbs or metro area.
But
or boys volleyball.
Yeah, I understand the whole point.
And Conley
water polo.
Do they have state water polo?
Yes.
Seriously?
There's high school water polo, yes.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of sports. I've never looked at all the sports that IHSA
and
has.
esports is exploding now, and we're looking into adding esports as well.
What about pickleball? Is pickleball an IHSA thing yet?
No, it's not, but I watched some professional pickleball players the other night on ESPN.
A shot off by Duncan, no good, and Conley takes it back for BPC. And Coach Hoyle, you've coached a lot of stuff, a lot of it with Coach Sears through the years. Parker's going to loft a triple, and he hits it. That's not the guy you expect to have to guard outside the arc for BPC. How much basketball have you played or coached in your life?
I played 1 year of basketball. We didn't have junior high wrestling. I never started a game, but I never finished the game either. They gave me 5 fouls, and I used them all.
Now I want to ask Coach Sears. Coach Sears, did you ever wrestle? Did you
Only in the backseat of a 64 Chevy.
And that was before we had co-ed wrestling.
Yeah.
It was unsanctioned.
Oh, my goodness. I should have known better to ask that question. But tipped away from behind by Watson. Jeter's going to go to Watson, and Watson will get the layup.
No, I will tell you where I was at, Dwayne, the closest thing we had to wrestling was Abe Lincoln. You know, when Abe Lincoln did the wrestling.
Abe Lincoln, yep.
Yeah, so what's the school been like since we can see, like, when Doyle gets on the floor for this team, it's a different energy. Have you noticed at the school how kids have talked different as Jeter gets another bucket since Doyle's back and the team's winning, and they really seem to have something going here for this Bomber boys basketball team?
I think he is a favorite of their student section down there, and he obviously adds some energy when he comes into the game. You know, when you're bringing him in with Ian Case, you know, you got some some height there as well. Okay. And then you know Hobson's a pretty good sized kid himself. Jack Duncan does a great job rebounding, but again, when you put those two juniors out there, it's pretty amazing.
Another timeout charged to BPC. They trail 41-26. It's starting to get away a little bit. You know, it's been a relatively close game here, guys, throughout. It's been 12, 13, that's 15 right now, but Bombers just aren't able to explode it and get it open like I think some people thought they were going to today.
Yeah. I agree with you. Or like the JV game did. You know,
right.
JV game exploded. You know, it was 30 at halftime. But right now, they're just – and I think a little bit it might be that 1-3-1 that Spartans been playing.
Well, I think Coach Snyder, didn't he reel off a 10-game win streak a while ago? And then, you know, they hit the skids here for the last couple games. But, you know.
They definitely have a team that can play some basketball when they're playing their game. That's for sure. You're right. So what have we not talked about that's happening at Macomb that people maybe at home would like to know about but haven't seen? I know we didn't talk about cheer. Cheer had their big weekend this weekend in Effingham.
Dance. That was our dance squad.
That was
our dance squad. And tonight we had the cheer clinic with the kindergarten through 6th graders. We got Scholastic Bowl coming up here. We're hosting it on Thursday. We have a new coach there. Coach Powell is taking over. Miss Rickelman, after many years, very successful years with Scholastic Bowl. She has passed the reins on to Brian Powell, who's doing a great job with these kids as well. But, yeah, we're getting ready to hit into the postseason in our winter sports and get the spring sports going. We do have lights up on the softball field, and we'll be playing under the lights there. I'm sure Coach Sears will want to be out there some April at 8 o'clock at night when it's a little chilly.
How about March?
March, yeah.
Comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys did a lot of that stuff through the years. How nice would it have been to have lights 20 years ago?
Well, I'll just be honest with you. As the thing you got to remember is for many years we played the JV game and the varsity game at the same time, so you didn't need lights. Now you need lights, but the thing about it is who wants to be out there in March when it's 28 degrees?
Right. You know, it's a good way to get somebody hurt.
Yeah.
And it's not fair to the younger girls to only play a couple innings, but we're back to where when Coach Sears had it, where we would have 2 full teams, a fresh soft team, actually 3. We would have a freshman team, a sophomore team, and a varsity team. Now we're back to that where we can have 2 full teams and play at the same time, but other teams can't. You know. Rock Island Alleman didn't even have softball last year, and they were like state champs how many times? Moline didn't have enough for a fresh soft team, and they were state champs.
And they're going to foul away from a person. Did he call an intentional foul or a technical?
Personal foul.
Intentional foul charged to Bushnell-Prairie City, number 5, Jalen Conley. Who's second?
He fouled Duncan apparently as he pushed him underneath the basket. I think that's almost, well, I don't know. If you're going to call that, it's almost a technical as opposed to intentional, but I guess it's kind of the same thing. First free throw for Duncan's off, no good. Yeah, spring sports. We're going to try and do some spring sports, but you and I were talking, Coach Horrell, that maybe try to do something from center field. I saw a few video angles of people zooming from center field. Doesn't look too bad. We might give that a try once or twice this year.
And then we will host the girls' regional softball. Last year we had baseball. We have softball this year. In April, sometime in April, we will be getting a new press box too. So we may have to adjust a little bit of our scheduling there, but the new press box, it's been in the works for a couple years now, but finally has come to fruition, and we've got the colors and everything picked out. They've taken the speakers off the top of the old press box. They're going to take the old one off with a crane and bring the new one in, and it's 5 individual rooms, heat and air conditioned, tinted windows. It's going to be a nice addition out there to finish off that facility. When you got $1 million field and an outhouse for a press box, we needed that.
They're going to just put another one. Use the same base.
Same standards. The architect came in, and they had an engineer come in, and everything works out. So that's a huge cost saver for us as well.
Yeah.
Plus, we with the access points where they are, we don't have to put an elevator in. It's right up to the max for square footage before you have to get an elevator, and we're right below that.
Ian Case gets the bucket to fall. So a lot of big things happening here at Macomb High School. We've got Steve Horrell on, the AD here at Macomb, talking to us. Kelly Sears alongside. I'm Dwayne Hill. Ezra Mason with the bucket. As this one it opened up a little bit there, but still 16 again. I mean, it's just hanging right there.
It's not, 2 or 3 threes and they're right back in it.
Yeah, for years we always talked about, you got to step on their throat. You can't let them think that they can play with you.
Can't let them hang around. They're like that little brother, that little sister, just want to go with you everywhere. Get rid of them.
That's right.
Sports Corner's live in the chat saying half-price appetizers after the game at the Sports Corner tonight. Just bring in your program or your score sheet or your lineup sheet.
All righty.
And half-price appetizers. Alleman with it down low over Doyle and puts the hook shot up and in.
All righty, I'm going to get back to work here.
All right, thanks.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Steve Horrell talking to us.
You're using that term loosely.
As we're focusing back on some basketball now. It's good to hear that stuff, whether it be Mr. Bartlett back in the day, Doyle shot off, no good, Case with the rebound. Watson's going to try and drive, dumps it out. Nope, stolen away by Strode. And Watson's going to inadvertently trip him, but it's a trip nonetheless, and it'll be a foul on Watson. His first, team's third. BPC's got 1 foul, is that right?
Yep. Kind of like Macomb was in the first half.
Yeah, this a lot of NBA 3 for Strode. Alleman steals it away from Doyle. Mason tries the 3. It's off, no good. Jeter outlets it to Watson, back the other way. He tries the alley-oop, does Watson to Doyle, but Alleman was there to knock it away. Case now is going to drive. Dumps it to Doyle, and Doyle can't finish. He gets the other rebound. Alleman strips it away again, and Doyle, that's not a good call. Doyle lost it out of bounds, was going to stay with Macomb. 22.2 seconds to go in the third quarter.
I got to agree with you on that one.
You will see some girls soccer, Shelby Baker. We will have at least 1 or 2 girls soccer games this spring. That's the plan, at least. We want to do that, and we will do that. Jeter, 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Stufflebeam for 3. It's off. Watson with the rebound and the put back, and it'll count. 48 to 32. Bombers lead by 16 at the end of 3. This game being brought to you tonight by Heil Enterprises and Heil Trucking. They can take your product down the road near or far and also offer top-notch heavy-duty truck and trailer repair. Second-generation business continues to grow and continues to support BPC Athletics. Stop by and see Danny or Travis on Route 41 south of Prairie City or call them at 309-775-3333. And Farmers and Merchant State Bank of Bushnell. For over 100 years, Farmers and Merchant State Bank of Bushnell has been serving the local community's needs for personal and business banking, as well as home and agricultural lending. It also has a great trust department. Stop by in the main branch at 484 East Main Street or the drive-up facility on Cole Street to learn more. F&M is a member FDIC and an equal housing lender. And King Family Chiropractic, with locations in Bushnell and Macomb, supports Bushnell-Prairie City athletics. They offer office hours in Macomb Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Bushnell Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. To set an appointment, call 309-837-MY-DC. That's 6932. They also perform DOT and CDL physicals.
Must be getting ready to snow. Boss man's texting me.
Telling you got to be ready in the morning, huh?
Be ready in the morning.
What's that? What constitutes morning for you guys?
4, 6, just depend on when the snow's going to stop.
Caden Palm, Dalton Strode, Dalton Huffman, Ezra Mason, and Braden Barker on the floor for BPC. Dion Doyle, Nolan Kerr, Jerry T. Jeter, Ian Case, and Connor Watson on the floor for the Bombers. Nolan Kerr stripped that away, but Mason tracked it down. Barker gets it from Mason, and he gets the buckets.
Was it Mason?
No, Barker.
Barker?
And it's a 14-point game, and it's been pretty much that exact same thing the whole half. And another alley-oop. That time they couldn't finish, and it's going to be off of Dion Doyle out of bounds. Jeter had it again but couldn't finish that time, and Spartans a chance to cut it to 11 or 12 here.
I want to know when Jeter's just going to take one down. He's high enough to it. Hands look like they're above the rim.
Yeah, Dion Doyle would light this place up if he could get away for one, but he has not been able to get away. BPC has been playing very, very good defense here.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Ezra Mason gives it to Dalton Huffman. Huffman has it stolen away, and here's the dunk.
Is.
That was a jinx. And a dunk for Dion Doyle. And the Bombers may try to use that. Dalton Huffman's going to try to answer. His shot's off, no good. Doyle high for the rebound. Huffman follows him in, but Case gets away after it was knocked away by Huffman. And, boy, the place went loud for a split second, but it just has been pretty calm all night, hasn't it?
It has. I got to agree with you.
Watson for three. It's off, no good. That's going to stay here. That's a good call. Caden Palm got a hand up there and swiped at it and knocked it out of bounds. 6:15 to go in the fourth quarter. And the Bombers lead by 14 and have the basketball. Nate Kramer checking back in. Caden Palm's going to take a seat.
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet in here all night long.
There hasn't really been, other than that dunk right there and a couple alley-oops, but there hasn't been a whole lot of, excitement, right? A lot of big things to get you really jazzed up. There hasn't been any sports corner threes to speak of. They've shot a lot of them, but nobody's making any of them.
I think Langdon Allen's about the only one that made one early in the game.
Connor Watson made one, and that's about it. JT Jeter says, I can make one. He does. A sports corner three for JT Jeter. Tyler Cummings is a steal by Duncan on a pass from Kramer. Langdon Allen to Jeter. Jeter, oh, what a pass across to Nolan Kerr. Tyler Cummings says a 4 a.m. wake up to push all day and then staying after 3 if need be. So he's got a long morning again, but he says, be safe, Coach.
I'll just be hitting mailboxes.
They're not yours. Well, unless you hit yours, I guess. I guess you could hit yours, but Jalen Conley on the dribble. Goes around Jeter, and Jeter just sticks right in his grill. Duncan with the rebound. First time, Jeter's going to try to answer with another. He can't, though. It's off. No good, wide left. Alleman with the rebound for BPC. 4:45 remaining in the basketball game. Once again, half-price appetizers after the game at Sports Corner. Jalen Conley gets the bucket to fall. Gets it back down to a 19-point game, and it had exploded to the biggest lead of the game at 21 right there. Back down to 19. JT Jeter skips it across. Watson for 3. Off, no good again. Nolan Kerr high for the rebound.
You know, that's one thing that Nolan Kerr is very good at is that backside rebound.
And he gets the bucket to fall as well. But like I was saying, half-price appetizers at Sports Corner tonight. If you're at the game, just bring in your program or your roster sheet. Jalen Conley with it. He'll loft up a triple. It's good. From NBA range, a Sports Corner 3 for Jalen Conley. And
that was out there, wasn't it?
Yep, subs coming in. That's a timeout by Macomb, and it's going to be for substitutions mostly. We'll tell you who everybody's coming in. Looks like the Spartans going to send in a bunch of subs as well, or at least several. Tanner Kleindentz and Sean Link check in at the table. Steven Stufflebeam, Jake Hobson, Lindsey May, Hunter Wilson among those checking in for the Bombers. First timeout called for the Bombers. I got them all. Langdon Allen's the only one staying on the floor. I'm pretty proud of myself.
Did a good job.
Sports Corner says it's good to have the varsity broadcasting team back, too.
I love the boys up there, huh?
Yeah. They do love their sports at the Sports Corner 124. I'm having my Heartland Auto Racing Tour banquet at the Macomb Dining Company this year. You going to come to it?
Well, if you pay me.
Oh, thanks a lot.
I didn't have any points.
Thanks a lot.
I didn't have any points.
I'll make you an honorary official for a night.
There we go.
How about that?
That'll work.
Jalen Conley going to be fouled on the floor, I think. Fouls on Langdon Allen. Gavin Pimble checking in.
I was working on
Peyton
cars
Mason
today.
checking in. Hunter Kendrick checking in. What was that? I'm sorry.
Said I was working on cars today.
Barker with the bucket for the Spartans. Back down to 16. Nice look across from Lindsey May to Hunter Wilson. His shot's going to fall.
Hunter Wilson.
That was a nice look by Lindsey May right there.
It was. Nice pass.
Sean Link with it. Going to come up to Peyton. Sure I get that right. Peyton Mason. Nate Kramer with it. Goes to Barker. He loses it. Kendrick going to get the steal. He got hit in the head. And the shot's going to fall anyway. An old-fashioned three-point play attempt coming for Hunter Kendrick.
15,
Sean Link picked up the foul. Caden Palm checking in for BPC. Braden Barker taking a seat. Free throw's good for Kendrick. Back to the largest lead of the game at 21. Sean Link gets it across. He's back from an ankle injury. Caden Palm lofts up a triple. It's off, no good. Rebound to Kendrick. Hobson, who was throwing him down in warm-ups the other night. I'm not sure what Kendrick was trying to do there, but he gets it finally. Well, I've never seen somebody pass the ball and get it back so many times in my life.
It's like he was passing, like he was dribbling, but they were dribbling it back to him.
Yeah, that's craziness right there. Oh, my goodness. 2 minutes to go, essentially, here in the fourth quarter. Peyton Mason with it. His shot's off, no good. Nate Kramer gets it off the floor. That was a shot, but it was well off. Mason's a shot again, off, no good. Hunter Kendrick, another rebound. Kendrick to Steven Stufflebeam. Hunter Wilson, pull up, good. Hunter Wilson's grandparents from Germany. Is that what we were talking about earlier? Hopefully they're watching or will watch the replay. Get to see Hunter score a couple baskets here in this fourth quarter. BPC took a timeout to get subs in. Into the game for BPC, number 22, Francisco Gallen Ardilla. He's a foreign exchange student, number 22. Peyton Mason has it stolen away by Kendrick again. to Lindsey May. Puts the shot up, off, no good. Jake Hobson with the rebound and the put back. Sean Link stops, tries to get it to Tanner Kleindens, can't do it. Hunter Wilson with the steal. He's bringing it back. Oh, no-look pass to Hobson. What a no-look pass from Hunter Wilson. Having a little fun with it now are the Bombers, as the subs are getting a little more excitement out of the crowd than anybody else has all night.
Hey, you got to have your fun. Got to have your fun.
And that's going to be over and back. Ardilla can't hold on to the pass. 39.2 seconds remaining. And Ian Case is sitting over there with ice on his eye. You can see him standing there on the right side of your picture right there.
Yeah, it's pretty red.
Lindsey May, Hunter Wilson, pump fakes. Kramer knocks it away from behind. Hunter Wilson wants to score 6.
He's going to hit it.
He was going to put that one up. 29 seconds left. You know, and sometimes people say they shouldn't be trying to score. Steven Stuffelbeam for 3, a sports corner 3 for Steven Stuffelbeam. 71-41, and it's 30 points now. But it's not. That's not really the game that it was for most of the way, though.
No, you're absolutely right.
Steal by May. Going to go out to Wilson. I think you just heard Coach Anderson say, hold it, no 3. That's the final, 71-41, as the Bombers get the win over BPC. We'll take a break, and we'll be back in a few minutes with Coach Tyler Snyder and Coach Jeremy Anderson in just a few minutes on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. This has been Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of Macomb High Sports.
After my appointment that day, I just made up my mind that I'm going to have my baby here in Macomb and this hospital, because irrespective of where you're from, who you are, it's just their line of duty to make sure they give care, make you comfortable.
I told about the staff of MDH. You know, they're all good, and you will get all the support you need. This is just the best place for you and your family.
Well, I've always had an interest in the medical field, and then growing up, I actually went through physical therapy myself for an injury, and that got me back to playing my sports and the activities that I loved. So seeing that firsthand, I got to see how much physical therapy could really benefit others.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
I see acute injuries on the field. I see ankle sprains. I see ACL knee injuries, as well as in the clinic. It's very rewarding to see them from on-the-field injury to rehab to transition back to their event.
Welcome back to the hangar at Macomb High School. You see the final 71-41, but that really does not tell you what the game was like here tonight. It was a much better game than that until the final really 3 or 4 minutes of the game when the subs came in. But it was pretty close. I'm Dwayne Hulett. Kelly Sears alongside. You've been watching Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of Macomb High Sports here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Tegan Perry on the camera tonight. We'll have Jeremy Anderson and Tyler Snyder on to talk a little bit here. Well, you got some stats for us there?
Yes, I do. For BPC, Mason with 6 points, Conley with 13, Alleman with 4, Huffman with 2, Palm with 2, and Barker ended up as leading scorer on the night with 14 points. For Macomb, Ian Case ended up with 6 points, Connor Watson with 7, JT Jeter led all scorers with 15 points. Steven Stuffelbeam hit a tray at the end for 3. Hunter Wilson, coming straight from Germany, scored 4 points. And Langdon Allen with 8, Nolan Kerr with 6, Hunter Kendrick with 3, Jack Duncan in double figures with 10, Deion Doyle with 2, and Hobson with 4.
Did Doyle have 2 free throws? Did he make 2 free throws?
He ended up
with 4?
Yes. I take that back. He ended up with 4 points.
Yeah, so
yeah,
a lot of people scoring for Macomb. That's kind of become a theme for them, hasn't it?
You know, when you get 2, 3, 4 guys in double figures every night, you're going to win ball games. And I mean, when I say double figures, 10 points, 10 points, 10 points, 12 points, all of that adds up. And you know, you're going to get your 8 to 10 points out of Nolan Kerr every night. So,
yeah.
and you know, and the players and Jack Duncan tonight, you know, Jack's usually not that. He got his points tonight. So, you know, everything's, you know, the big thing is it's getting to the point to where we get into February, then all of a sudden everything starts to take off, because that's when you play for keeps.
Yeah, and you know, it's not that these games don't matter, don't get me wrong, but, you know, you play these games. I mean, you want to win a conference championship or you want whatever, but you play these games to get to February and March, don't you?
Yes. And you know, as we always say, it plays for keeps. And everybody, the nice thing about basketball is everybody starts off 0-0. You know, football, not everybody makes it. Everybody plays to get to that point, but not everybody makes it. When you get to basketball, you know, you couldn't win. You didn't have to win a game all year long. Then all of a sudden, boom, you could end up in a regional championship.
Right.
And, you know, maybe win a regional championship. But the other thing is that right now, it used to be a lot different, because it used to be just a 2-class system. I can remember back to the days where you had districts, and you would have a 4 or, an 8, maybe an 18 district, and then it went to regionals, and those regionals went to like 12-team regionals, and they just cut out the districts and so forth. But, you know, districts go all the way back to when it was just a 1-class system.
Right.
I'm old. I can remember a 1-class system.
I don't remember 1. I do remember 2-class system, though, for, you know, I think we were still in 2-class when I was in high school.
Yeah.
I mean, I got all the way through high school.
Yep. And you know, I am still a 2-class system. I'm a 2-class system guy. I'm a 6-class system guy in football. I you know.
So you're saying it should still be that way?
I think it means a lot more. Let's take a look. Let's look at the numbers, attendance numbers at the state tournament. People don't go to the state tournament like they used to. You make it a 2-class system, and you get a team that only has 100 kids in their high school down at the state tournament.
Everybody in the town is going to be there.
You're exactly right. And nothing against the AA schools and so forth, but those teams don't follow like the Class A teams do.
Right. And you can see that with the I-8FH state championship game.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, that place was packed.
Yeah, that place is packed every year, and it's the smallest schools in the state, right?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not the smallest schools, but some of the smallest schools in the state that take part in I-8FA football, and the place is packed.
Yeah, I mean, I watched that game on TSSR Live, and, shout out to Coach Kirby. You know,
yeah.
Coached against Coach Kirby many, many times, and congratulations to him on the state championship. And, you know, there's always going to be somebody that says, it's just 8-man football. I don't care if it's 8-man or 6-man football. Hey, it's state championship's a state championship.
I'll tell you what, if you don't think 8-man football is football, you watch some of our games and watch the hits that get laid in 8-man football.
I've been to 8-man football.
It's there's the only difference is there's less kids on the field.
Yeah, but the hitting is and you usually got one guy can like dominate the game almost, you know, like the fullback.
Caden Drosty.
Yeah, Drosty.
From the halfback.
Yeah.
For West Central. Yeah.
He's a player.
Yeah.
He can play.
He can play anywhere.
You're exactly right.
He had like 3,000 yards or 2,500 yards, some stupid number this year. I mean, we did the first round playoff game that they were in, and he touched the ball 7 times in the first half, had 254 yards and 6 touchdowns.
You know, the last person I seen do something like that was?
Who's that?
John Stovall.
Yeah, he was good, wasn't he?
He had 210 yards at halftime on like 7 touches or something like that, and had 102 temperature and didn't play in the second half.
He was the real deal back in the day.
Yes, he was. Phenomenal player.
He was a good athlete all the way around.
Yep.
Jarek Stovall's doing a Liberty Basketball Association up in Roseville. We've been shooting some of those basketball games. That's been interesting. It's men's league, but on a much grander scale. I mean, these kids are. I call them kids. Some of them are as close to as old as me. Not very many of them, but there's ex-college players and stuff like that playing with, kind of making a semi-pro league, and it's been pretty impressive.
My old buddy Chuck Grant, he hadn't rolled out yet and played, has he?
No, I haven't seen Chuck up there, but he probably could. He looks like he could anyway.
Yep.
We'll see if Coach Snyder's going to come out and talk to us or not here. Coach Anderson's done with Justice already, it looks like.
That's good.
I saw Coach Jeter walk in earlier.
Yeah, I did.
They had a big win last night.
Mm-hmm.
Masner with 46 for a school record.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
That's very impressive.
For a 40-minute game, scoring 46 points. That's accomplishing something. There's no doubt. Get Coach Anderson on the microphone here. We've just been sitting here talking, waiting on you. Coach Snyder ain't been out yet. You beat Coach Snyder, so you already talked to Justice and come over here to talk to us. I got to give you some props tonight.
I try to take care of the people who take care of me.
I'll tell you what, this game ends as a 30-point game, but Kelly and I were talking. It sure didn't seem like a 30-point game through most of it. You guys had control of it, but you just couldn't blow it open.
I think BPC has really improved since we played them in the Thanksgiving tournament time. Little number 3, he was a pain in the neck tonight. Really driving the ball, the basket well. The shots that he didn't finish, we had to leave our guy to come and help, and so our guy was open for the offensive rebound and the putbacks. That was something that we're going to have to go back to the drawing board tomorrow and practice and try to work on those types of rotations, because they were kind of exposing us on some of those things.
I think a lot of people, me included, really thought that with the addition of Deion Doyle, you guys would really have an upper hand over BPC, but they kind of played some different people tonight. They played Barker a little more than they had been, it seemed like, and maybe changed things up a bit, but BPC was gritty all night long.
Oh, yeah, they are. They're going to compete, and they're physical. They played 1-3-1, which was a little bit different than what we were expecting coming into the game, so he threw us a curveball. It took us a little while to, readjust and know what we wanted to look for against the 1-3-1. So I thought they did a really good job. I mean, if we don't hit some shots, and then probably the biggest difference in the game is the way we crashed the offensive glass. We got tons of second chance baskets, which was probably the huge difference in the point margin.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we talked about that, and the other thing is Jack Duncan running the baseline on that 1-3-1. He kind of came out of his own. And I mean, he's going to get his 4 to 6 points, and he's going to get 10 rebounds a game. But tonight he had 10 points because it was open and he was taking.
And he sees things, right? He sees the openings. He knows. He's thinking a pass ahead, knows where he can get the ball, knows what he's going to do with it when he catches it. Very instinctive down there. That's a really good spot for him to be against a defense like that. Second half, I was really, really happy with the way we shared the ball. We were making passes, running the floor, kicking it ahead, making an extra pass to get guys a look. That was really, really nice to see.
I thought JT Jeter kind of stepped up a little bit for you guys tonight, too. He looked to shoot. Langdon Allen looked to shoot. Guys that you come to Macomb Downtown Athletic Club and talk about, these guys we want them to do, and they look to do those things.
Absolutely.
Tonight.
They had big games tonight when we really needed them, right? And defensively, too, because BPC puts some kids out there that are tough to guard. Conley's tough to guard. Mason's tough to guard. Strode, he'll shoot it for so far out that he's kind of tough to guard, too. They want to spread you out, and those guys like JT and Langdon are athletic enough and instinctive enough not to be beaten when they get spread out like that. And so they did a really nice job on those.
Yeah, you're go ahead.
I think JT is a kid that has to shoot the basketball. And you've probably told him to shoot the basketball, but he seems so passive. But when he does, it just adds another dimension to your game.
Yes.
And
he's really good at he's a slashing type player, right? He can catch it and take one dribble and knife in between a couple of guys and get to the rim. But, yeah, when he makes some outside ones, that really opens some things up for us.
Yes.
Well, you guys have had several games. The last time I saw you was Rushville Industry, the first game that Dion was there. We kind of see that you're kind of working into that rotation. You feel like you've won games. You've been successful since he came back. Not necessarily because of him only, but you kind of feel like you've got the rotation now. You're in a flow, and now you're getting to where you need to be.
That's still a work in progress. It really is. But a lot of it depends on what type of defensive matchups we're going to have if we put those guys out there, right?
Yeah.
I want to get Ian and Dion in the game as much as possible, but sometimes it's going to be tough to play them both at the same time, depending on what the other team has out there. Now, the good thing about that is Dion can move his feet fast enough to guard a perimeter player, most of the teams that we play. And so if we get in that situation, we can use him there. But, yeah, we're still trying to work on that and try to find out what works the best for us.
Well, Coach, I know you got things to do. I don't have to keep you, but as you look at this game and moving forward, what are you looking to improve on as you've seen what you guys have done the last 4 or 5 games?
I think we talked about this downstairs just a little bit ago. I think they kind of exposed us on the dribble drive and the helping the helper. When Mason had the ball and drove it, our big guy had to leave his guy to come up and stop the ball, and no one was helping our big guy. Well, you look down the road to Monday night, going to West Hancock, we're going to have to get that. We're going to have to get that shored up, or we're in trouble, because it'll be a team that's a lot more skilled, probably, being able to exploit those same things. And so, the next couple of nights, we're really going to be working hard on that.
Well, you got West Hancock coming up. That was a game that I know that you guys weren't real happy with early in the year. A little bit of extra incentive for that game, or is it far enough in the past now that the kids have kind of forgot about it?
It hasn't came from me, but I've heard the boys mention it several times, and so several of them are looking forward to. I think some of them left that game that night because they beat us by 20 points.
Right.
And I think some of the boys left the gym that night thinking they're not 20 points better than we are, and they're really itching to try to prove that. But you have to look at the full scope, the big picture. That may just be 2 out of a third game we would play them. If you look at a regional situation, we very well may be in the same regional. And so, sometimes that second game is great, but it's that third one you'd really like to win. So,
West Hancock, I know you see tape on them, and you've played them once, and you're going to play them again, so I know you're looking at tape. They're a team that you see them come on the floor. You see Macomb and them, you're not going to be scared of them. But they just do things right.
Well, they play really well together. They do some things defensively that caused us some problems the first night that we played them. So hopefully we'll be a little bit more adjusted to those types of things. I think they're well coached. I think they're confident. They shoot the ball with a lot of confidence. And so that makes them tough to guard. And I know our guys are really looking forward to that. And so hopefully we can get better at a few things before we get there Monday night.
How good was the tournament up in East Moline?
It was a really good experience for our guys. That Wharton Fieldhouse is a beautiful facility. I think it would have been a lot cooler for our boys if there would have been a crowd there during our games, right? Because we played the first game of the day, and so it wasn't full. Now, when Moline played right after us on that second game and it started to fill up, I think they kind of got the full experience. What a nice place to play. We were very fortunate to get invited to go up there. And we played some good teams. Riverdale that first night is young, but, man, they're athletic and they can really shoot it. And then we played some of our best basketball so far against Rock Ridge on that Monday.
Well, that's what you need to do is play best against the best.
That's right. Yep, absolutely.
I mean, you want to play good and your best against everybody, but you have to play it against the best,
I think we were really competing, right? There weren't many easy baskets. There weren't many possessions taken off by either team. And it kind of came down to, like we said uptown, we made our free throws to put it away. And, boy, that's awful nice when you can say that.
Yeah, I've seen some games lately where that's not the case.
Sure, absolutely.
So whenever you can do that, they make it sound so easy, but that's not the easiest thing to do.
No, it's not.
like making a layup.
Exactly.
It looks easy.
We were giving Penn a hard time because he made a tried a left-handed layup from the right side, wrong foot, long hand, and then we realized he was left-handed.
Right.
So it just seems more natural for him. It looks
That was
backwards
his
to us,
best shot. That was his best chance at it.
You'll have that occasionally, though,
Yes.
won't you? All right, Coach. Thanks for talking to us.
thank you.
We'll talk to you later. Coach Jeremy Anderson talking to us on the post-game show here tonight. Coach Schneider snuck out the door on us, so we're not going to talk to Coach Schneider. Anything before we go?
Nope. Snow's coming. That's what they say.
So I see you got the flannel on right now. People can't see that at home, but you got the flannel on. Does that mean you're already – is that what you're just going to wear that to bed?
This is my pajamas.
Oh, my goodness.
I may be, 4 o'clock will be awful early.
Yeah, you need to get home and get to bed. You're an old man.
Old Davey will be calling me awful early. He'll be all wound up. Just as long as he's got my truck warmed up.
That's all that matters. Right?
I don't want to get in a cold truck. If he's got my plow truck warmed up, I'll be okay.
I know he's not listening probably or watching, but if anybody knows Dave's number, make sure to text him and let him know Kelly needs his truck warmed up in the morning. I'm sure he'd appreciate the reminder.
Well, he texts me. He says, I'm going to bed. So I said,
Well,
he said 6 o'clock at the shop. So I said, just get my truck warmed up.
well, that'll do it for tonight. From the hangar, the final 71-41, Macomb gets a win over BPC. Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling has been bringing Bomber Sports to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. For Kelly Sears and Tegan Perry, I'm Dwayne Hulett. Thanks for watching. We are off tomorrow night, but we've got Bomber Wrestling tomorrow or Thursday night, live from the hangar as well. We'll see you then.